Okay. It does take a while for a converting file.
Mm-hmm. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm so glad that so many of you have registered. So we really had a record number of people to register. Over 600 travel agents registered for today's webinar. I would like to think it's because of me and you just love to see my smiling face, but I know why you're here. You want to hear more about our new property, one of our newest properties in the U.S. Virgin Islands, Lovango Resort and Beach Club. And they are going to be co-presenters with me today. And so I have let's see, are you the operations director? Is that your official title, Matt?
That is my title.
All right, so welcome Matt Snyder. He is with the property. So he's going to give us a whole lot of really good information on the property, get you guys some information about Lovango, because I know a lot of you are curious as to where the property is. I get questions about it all the time. I posted into my Facebook group yesterday, and a couple people were asking, where is this? Well, it's on Lovango, one of the hundreds of keys in the USVI. So, Matt, if you have anything you want to say to everybody before we get started, please feel free.
Well, thank you so much, Kay. So excited to be here. Excited to share everything that's going on with Lovango. This is year 3 for us. We've continued to grow. We have a really exciting presentation for you all. I'm part of the family that owns the resort, and I'm excited to go in after Kay's overview on the territory about some specifics about our resort. So I look forward to meeting you all and sharing a little bit about everything going on Lovango.
And Matt is going to be your go-to person, aside from me, if you have questions, of course, specifically on Lovango. So make sure you keep up with his information, guys, post-webinar, because he can definitely help you with more of your questions. So a couple of housekeeping notes before we get started. Don't worry about being muted. This new platform that we're using mutes everyone automatically, so you can have your private conversations. We're not going to hear you. For questions that you have, both on the destination and on Lovango, feel free to drop them in the chat. Or if you have some one-on-one questions you want to just direct towards either myself or Matt, you can go in the Q&A, and we'd be happy to answer those questions for you. So again, thank you guys so much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get started because I know everyone is super busy because it's spring break. It's the tail end of the busy season. So I know you guys got a lot going on. So the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Croix, St. John, and St. Thomas, we like to consider ourselves being naturally in rhythm, and that once your clients arrive in the USVI, they will naturally fall into rhythm with the territory and the destination. So let's take a look.
Our heartbeat is the rhythm of life, and nowhere else is it felt quite like here. You can sense it in the tempo of the tides and breezes, and in the artistic expressions of our people. For ours are no ordinary Caribbean islands, and yours, no ordinary Caribbean vacation in the U.S. Virgin Islands, naturally in rhythm.
So hopefully that video kind of gave you a short introduction into some of the things that your clients will experience when they visit the U.S. Virgin Islands. So for those of you who maybe aren't familiar, or just to familiarize everyone with the U.S. Virgin Islands, we're comprised of 3 principal islands: St. Croix, St. John, and St. Thomas. And we're not too far from the mainland as well. As you can see, we're very close proximity to Florida, right there in North America. Then we also like to say that Water Island is affectionately known as the 4th U.S. Virgin Island. So if you book your clients for at least a 5-night stay, they can realistically visit all 4 of these U.S. Virgin Islands while they're there. And of course, we're going to learn more today about one of those other keys in the U.S. Virgin Islands, Lovango. So it is possible to get it all in. So this little map kind of gives you an idea of how close these islands are in proximity to each other. So St. Thomas and St. John are very close together. They're only 15 minutes apart on the ferry. The ferry is only $8 and change each way. And then in the harbor there, you can see Water Island, but the print is so tiny on my end. I'm not sure if you can see it, but Water Island lies in between there as well. And then you also have St. Croix, which is a little further away from St. Thomas and St. John, but no worries. You can still easily get to St. Croix on a 20-minute seaplane ride from St. Thomas. And the views on takeoff and landing are spectacular. And hey, it's for a lot of people a bucket list item to ride on a seaplane. So the seaplane is extremely fun, and you get great photos on takeoff and landing. So again, very, very possible for you to visit all three of these islands when your clients are in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So one of the big things we always like to talk about when we're talking about the U.S. Virgin Islands is the fact that we are a U.S. territory. And this, of course, came in very, very handy during the pandemic because U.S. citizens do not need a passport to travel to the U.S. Virgin Islands. So if you have clients who either don't have a passport or won't get a passport, that's okay. You can send them to the U.S. Virgin Islands, and we'll learn more about some of the different property offerings that we have here. I'm certain we have something that will suit all of your clients in the USVI. And then we're very close proximity to the mainland. We're only 2.5 hours from Miami, 3.5 from Atlanta and JFK. So you have a lot of great options to get your clients into St. Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John. So looking at the airlift, we do offer nonstop service from the mainland into the U.S. Virgin Islands. Out of the mainland, you have service from Atlanta, Charlotte, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami into St. Croix. And of course, Puerto Rico is a great hub for all of us in the Caribbean. So connecting flights out of Puerto Rico is something that you can do as well into both St. Thomas and St. Croix. St. Thomas has more flight service available into that island. So you can see all the different cities that you can fly nonstop from the United States, continental United States, into the U.S. Virgin Islands. So more than likely, there is some avenue there available for your clients to get to us easily and quickly. So we talked about how close in proximity all the islands are to each other, St. Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John. So now let's talk about what each island has to offer. Each one is very different from the other. And as I like to call them, three sisters, they each have their own personality. So let's take a look at St. Thomas. She is I like to call her the more cosmopolitan, the more posh of the three U.S. Virgin Islands. So let's take a look.
St. Thomas is known for many things. Its picturesque harbor, duty-free shopping, and exciting adventures, from wildlife encounters to beautiful vistas. This bustling, cosmopolitan island is filled with wonder. Experience it all in the next 60 seconds.
Kick off your visit with a stroll around Emancipation Garden and then take a sky ride up to Paradise Point for the best view of Charlotte Amalia Harbor. While you're up there, enjoy the USVI's original cocktail, the Bushwhacker. See what's blooming over at the Botanical Garden. Now on to see what's cooking in the streets. Freco, pate, Johnny cakes. These authentic island eats are some of St. Thomas's best treats. Take a walk through history and discover hidden treasures of the deep blue sea. Or walk on the sand floors of one of the oldest synagogues in the world. Stroll down the breathtaking Megan's Bay Beach, or dare to take on some excitement, like swimming with dolphins in this dolphin sea sanctuary. Soar in the sky with a helicopter ride for a bird's eye view of this stunning island. Enjoy this hilltop view while sipping a classic Cruzan rum cocktail with some locally caught seafood. It's no surprise that people call this tropical wonderland a top destination in the Caribbean.
So as you can see, that island is extremely busy. There's always something going on St. Thomas. And I often like to say that it's the great gateway island to the USVI. And what I mean by that is, if you have a client who's never been to the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Thomas is a good island to start them on because you have your highest concentration of hotel rooms, shopping, dining, activities, and attractions, but you still have the beautiful beaches and the history and the culture. So definitely definitely recommend St. Thomas to those clients who are busy, whose vacation personality is being into any and everything when they're on vacation. I always like to mention the dining in the USVI. I just so happen to be mentioning it on St. Thomas, but you can really find really, really great dining on all 3 of the U.S. Virgin Islands. And one thing I'd like to really impress upon you is you have opportunities to have fresh caught fish, locally sourced ingredients everywhere you go in the USVI, all types of different cuisine available for your clients to try and to take in. The dining is going to be a big part of your vacation experience in the US Virgin Islands. So you would hate to leave and not really have an opportunity or take an advantage of the opportunity to sample all of the great dining in the USVI. And coincidentally, during the pandemic, we've had lots of great new restaurants open up in the USVI. So the Easterly pictured here is one of those new restaurants located in Red Hook. So you can have some great cocktails infused with some local fruits like passion fruit and guava berry and tamarind. So, you want to try these things and taste the flavor of the destination, because I guarantee you, your clients will be thinking about that meal they had in St. Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John when they return home. So speaking of St. John, she is the smallest of the 3 U.S. Virgin Islands. This island is only 19 square miles, and she is 2/3 a national park. So it is a favorite for nature lovers. So let's take a look.
Although it's the smallest of the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. John is big in its natural beauty. So much so that Lawrence Rockefeller found it necessary to protect the island's lush forests, cultural artifacts, and amazing beaches. Witness it all in the next 60 seconds.
Many people escape to St. John to witness the colorful scenery, explore its beauty, and relax. Their waterfront cottages and hillside villas offer pure tranquility, along with some of the best restaurants in Cruz Bay, creating a very distinct food scene. Tuck your toes in the dazzling white sand of these spectacular beaches and delve into the secret underworld to discover hidden sea creatures. Take a stroll around the world-famous Mongoose Junction and explore their quaint galleries and shops offering everything from cool art, clothing, and yummy desserts. A premier place for nature lovers, St. John is the perfect haven for an outdoor adventure through these subtropic forests and steep slopes. Hit the beach for some games and live music, then onto the local bars for some nightlife fun. Now let's get going. The Love City awaits you.
So you can see, even though she's the smallest of the 3 U.S. Virgin Islands, there's still a lot going on the island of St. John. But like I said earlier, nature lovers are drawn to this island. In large part because of the national park. I actually just had a conversation with an agent that fammed with me some years back, and the clients are looking for a destination where they can do some hiking. So she immediately thought of St. John. The national park has, I believe, about 27 hiking trails all through it. So if you've got those clients who want to get out and want to, explore nature and, love to do their hiking while they're on vacation, think about St. John, because they will not be disappointed. And something else to bear in mind when it comes to the beaches on St. John, these are going to be some of the most beautiful, pristine beaches in the world because they're also located in the park and have that protection of the park. So, crystal clear water. You have marine life that will just swim right up to you close to the shore. You'll see stingrays swimming around and sea turtles. So you have wonderful opportunities to have that interaction with marine life. And then, like I like to say about St. John, it's so stunningly beautiful. When you take your photos, no filters are needed. So, and your friends and your family, when you get back, they're not going to believe how stunning the island is. So it's definitely an island to suggest to those clients who are nature lovers, who are beach bums, who just want to explore different beaches every day, because they definitely will not be disappointed on St. John. So hopping over to St. Croix, this is the big sister. She is the largest of the 3 U.S. Virgin Islands. We like to refer to St. Croix as our cultural bearer because she's like a living museum. Everywhere you go, you'll see such rich history, culture, architecture at every turn. So let's take a look.
When flying into St. Croix, be sure to grab a window seat. If there's one color that defines the Caribbean, it's blue. And the blue of St. Croix is simply incomparable. From pristine beaches to historic gems preserved for decades. But don't be fooled. There's plenty more to see and do on this island than just the beach. Experience it all in the next 60 seconds. Here on this U.S. Virgin Island, one of the best places to rise with the sun is at Point Udall, not too far from some of St. Croix's most unique and scenic hotels. Start your day off with an adventurous ride to witness breathtaking scenery, and then head to the famous Buck Island to enjoy this crystal blue sea. Now this is island life. But what would island life be without food? While here on St. Croix, stop by the farmer's market for some fresh produce and be sure to swing by Cast Iron Pot or Lorraine's Chicken Shack and eat your heart out. From fine dining to local Caribbean desserts, if it's one thing St. Croix has plenty of, it's certainly authentic Caribbean cuisine. Spend the rest of your afternoon getting your history fix at Fort Christian Vern, or watching special performances by local quadrille dancers or the Moco Jumpies. And kick off the perfect island night watching the sunset with a special craft cocktail from some of the island's best bars and lounges. So, what are you waiting for? It's time to take on St. Croix and feel a vibe like no other.
So you see how St. Croix is a little bit different from St. Thomas and St. John. And it's really great for the off the beaten path type experience if you have clients who are interested in that. And we were just named, St. Croix was just named earlier this year, a National Heritage Area by the Biden administration. And that just simply means that there's so much rich history and culture that contributes to the United States history that it bears that designation of being a national cultural area. In addition to that, we also have 2 bioluminescence bays in St. Croix, and then Buck Island, which is one of my, if you know me, one of my favorite places in the world. It's an underwater U.S. national monument. So if you have clients who are going to be on St. Croix, always suggest doing a half a day or a full day sail out to Buck Island. The sand is so white and soft. I love to get my little sand scrubs on when I'm on Buck Island, but the snorkeling and the diving is phenomenal. It's like looking through an aquarium glass. So it's definitely an experience that your clients will take back and hold dear from their trip to St. Croix. Then we also have 2 18-hole championship golf courses on St. Croix, and one of them is a Robert Trent Jones golf course. So again, for your clients who are golfers, this is the island to suggest to them to do some golfing. And I know I talked about cuisine on St. Thomas earlier, and I'm a St. Thomian. So don't, if I have any St. Thomians or St. Jonians on here, don't shoot me. But St. Croix has the best food. So I love eating and dining out in St. Croix. So you have so many different types of restaurants that have popped up. I know a lot of people are familiar with our rum distilleries, Cruzan and Captain Morgan, but we also have a vodka distillery, Mutiny Island Vodka, that actually distills vodka from breadfruit. So, you know, it wouldn't be USVI if we didn't put a different twist to it. So you definitely, if you have clients who are foodies, want to make sure that they get in on some of that good dining in St. Croix. We also have a rainforest there, so you can do Jeep tours of the rainforest, guided tours of the rainforest. And then we have beautifully stunning tide pools as well. So you can also do tours of the tide pools and go out and get in the water and just enjoy and soak up all the wonderfulness of the tide pools in St. Croix. And then remember, off the beaten path. So here's the activity you needed, but you didn't know you need. We can go feed the beer drinking pigs in St. Croix as well. And they're located deep in the rainforest. But if you do a tour, a guided tour of the rainforest, they'll take you by there. Now, please, no pigs were harmed in any of these photos taken. They're actually drinking O'Doul's. So it's non-alcoholic beer, and they actually rescue boars. So it's a great opportunity to do something funny, cool, different, off the beaten path while you're in St. Croix. If you have clients who are divers, all 3 islands have phenomenal diving, but St. Croix is where you'll have the opportunity to log a number of varied dives. So we have dive sites all along the north shore of that island. And we have reefs, walls, wrecks, pier diving, nighttime diving. So you have a lot of opportunities to log various different dives when you come down to St. Croix. Hopping back over to St. Thomas, I cannot not mention that we are gearing up for our big carnival celebration. That is coming up. Well, actually, it already kicked off on Saturday with the Prince and Princess show. So Carnival is our time to let your hair down, party, have fun, eat, drink. It's a cultural celebration. So if you have clients who are looking for a really authentic cultural immersion on their vacation to the Caribbean, coming down during one of our festivals is optimal. So you have here the Carnival schedule, so you can kind of see some of the things that are going on. I'm happy to share it again. For anyone who wants to make sure what's going on when their clients are in town. So definitely make sure they know about April being a big month in St. Thomas for Carnival. So now I'm going to kind of go through some of our hotel product. This is not everything that we have in the U.S. Virgin Islands, but it's a good little smattering of everything we have. I'm showing you what properties I know of that do pay travel agent commissions. So don't have to worry if any of these properties pay or not. They all do that I'm showing you. So just to start it off, the Ritz-Carlton St. Thomas, this is going to be your most high-end option on this island. Beautifully redone property. They put in about $150 million there. Oh, my slides are going too fast. So Kids Club is open. They added a new pool. All the rooms have been renovated, and it's a stunningly beautiful property to suggest to your clients who are high-end. We also have Margaritaville, located on the east side of St. Thomas. It's close to Coral World, where you can go swim with the dolphins and take in the marine park, also close to Cookie Point Beaches, which is one of my favorite beaches on St. Thomas. And you're also close to Red Hook, where you can catch the ferry to go over to St. John. But you have your margarita machines in the room, dining on the property as well. So it's a really good option to suggest to your clients who are looking for St. Thomas. The Buccaneer would be the most high-end on St. Croix. Beautiful property. You have 3 beaches, a pool, golf and tennis as well, restaurants. So you have lots of great options. Great for families, couples, girlfriend getaways, solo travelers. So you really can run the gamut here with the type of traveler at the Buccaneer. I'm always asked about all-inclusive. And in fact, looking through the chat, I see some people asking about all-inclusive. So we only have 2 all-inclusive resorts in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And one of them is the Divi Carina Bay Resort and Casino. This property also just finished a major renovation. And in addition to being all-inclusive, it is also adults only. So bear that in mind if you're looking for an all-inclusive option for your clients. The Westin St. John, located on St. John, also right before the pandemic, went through a major multi-million-dollar renovation as well. So they have villa units, studios, 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. Beautiful property as well. So definitely a great one to suggest to your clients if you can get them in, because it is challenging to get into that property. Carambola Beach Resort. This is located on St. Croix. Beautiful property as well, located at the edge of the rainforest. So a great property to suggest for those clients who kind of want to disconnect and just be quiet and slow down and have a slower pace. Restaurant on property here as well. They do a great buffet. I believe it's on Friday nights as well with entertainment. So the Carambola Beach Resort. Frenchman's Reef, another great property that we are excited for its return to St. Thomas. I know quite a few of you probably are anxious like we are for the property to reopen. They are undergoing a renovation currently, so we're hoping to see them back into the fold later on this year. So just stay tuned for official reopen dates from Frenchman's Reef. Secret Harbor Beach Resort, also on St. Thomas. This is a quiet little hidden gem on the east end of the island. Again, I mentioned about the marine life who swim right up to you in St. John. They do it here in St. Thomas as well. So Secret Harbor is a great one for that. There's great snorkeling and diving right off the property, 2 restaurants, pool at the property as well. And you're close to Red Hook, where you're going to have lots of other dining options available, as well as being close to the ferry to head over to St. John. Belongo Bay. So yes, Don, thank you, Don Anderson, for answering. This is going to be your second all-inclusive property in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Belongo Bay is located on St. Thomas. This one is not adults only. So remember, the one in St. Croix is the divvy, that is adults only, but the one in St. Thomas, Belongo Bay, is not. So this is going to be your option for all-inclusive on St. Thomas. The Hideaway Hull Bay is a lovely new boutique property, also on the island of St. Thomas. You have villa accommodations, cottages, beautiful, beautiful grounds, lots of lush tropical trees and foliage all throughout. There's also a farm as well. So the chef does a lot of farm to table inspired menu items. So, and then you're right across from Hull Bay, which is a great beach for kite surfing and just surfing in general. So great for buyouts, small retreats, because it's so intimate. So hopefully you'll have an opportunity to research it a bit more and see if you have a good client that'll be a good fit. At Home in the Tropics is a bed and breakfast. This is a great property for your history buffs. This bed and breakfast is only 4 rooms and it's located in the heart of downtown Charlotte Amalia. So you can literally walk to everything in terms of shopping, dining, right there in St. Thomas. So you're surrounded by history. It's a great opportunity to really take in the historical side of St. Thomas. And then you have beautiful views of the St. Thomas, Charlotte Amalia Harbor from this property as well. So clients are looking for something a little bit more intimate. This is definitely a property to suggest. And they do great farm to table here as well because they have a small garden on property that they use in their locally inspired dishes for breakfast. Gallows Point Resort is on St. John. It's a great property in that you can really walk into Cruise Bay from here. So Cruise Bay is where the ferry comes in, and it's also where you're going to find most of your dining and shopping on the island of St. John. You see they have a pool as well, workout room, and they're condo style accommodations. So they all come with full kitchens. They were on a webinar with me a couple of webinars ago. So if you're interested in learning more about Gallows Point, just shoot me a note and I'll be happy to send that recording over to you. Estate Lindholm is another bed and breakfast in St. John, a great property as well, just at the edge of the national park. So again, very lush and tropical and beautiful. And again, you have the breakfast option. Close to Cruise Bay. I wouldn't walk into Cruise Bay from this particular property, but I do see people who do it. It's just on a hill. So you just have to be mindful of that. But it's a great property. It has a lot of great repeat business and a lot of people love staying at Estate Lindholm. Seashore Allure is another lovely intimate property in St. John. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units here as well. Yes, Mary Beth, the hill is high. Great units here as well. A lot of snowbirds love coming down to Seashore Allure because again, it's not, it's more intimate, laid back, quiet property that's available on St. John. The Waves at Camp Bay is one of our new boutique properties or reimagined boutique properties on St. Croix. So only 11 rooms here at this particular property. They've all been redone in this bohemian style that you see here. Again, great for like a small wedding, girlfriend getaway, great for solo travelers as well. There's a restaurant located on the property as well as a beautiful bar, great sunsets as well at the Waves at Camp Bay. So if you're looking for something a little, again, unique, off the beaten path, check out the Waves at Camp Bay. Sandcastle on the Beach, also located on St. Croix in Frederiksted. As you can see, stunning sunsets. They have a pool. They're on a stretch of Frederiksted Beach, beautiful, beautiful stretch of beach. So if your clients are really into beach, this is really one that you can suggest. It is adults only, but again, it's great, again, for a buyout because there's only about, I think, 24 rooms here. So it's a great property to look at if you're looking for something a little bit intimate for your clients. The King Christian Hotel in St. Croix, again, located in Christiansted. Same owners as the Waves. So they've come in with the same kind of sleek style to all of the rooms and the decor. This is great for the traveler who likes to be in the middle of everything, wants to walk to all the dining and the shopping. No beach here, but you will be able to get over to the beach at the hotel on the Key from this resort once they have that ferry service up and running. But it's a great property if you like to be next to all that good food that I told you St. Croix has, because the dining in Christiansted is really, really phenomenal. Of course, Lovango. We're going to hear more about Lovango, but I'll just leave it at beautiful private island. It's a stunning experience, stunning location. You definitely want to make sure that your clients have this experience if they're in the USVI, because it is an awesome, awesome property. So I'm going to let Matt give you all the lowdown on Lovango. And then back on St. John, the Wharfside Village Hotel, another great one for a buyout, about 15 rooms here, European style decor, right in the middle of Cruise Bay. So you can walk to everything from here as well. So it's a great property to suggest to your clients who want to be in St. John and close to everything that's going on. Of course, our villa product, I always like to mention, very strong. A lot of your clients probably got an introduction to the USVI over the last couple of years via our villa products. So there are lots of different wholesalers you can go through to book our villa product in the USVI. So if at any point you need any suggestions or pointers, just feel free to reach out. I'd be more than happy to help you. Most of what you will find in terms of villas on St. John, to be quite honest, will be villas. So great for multi-generational travelers who are going to all be traveling together. So definitely think of that for your clients who are looking to travel to the USVI. And then our boating and yachting product, we really saw this market explode for us over the pandemic. So if you're not familiar, you can do crude yacht or bareboat charters through the USVI. And by crude yacht, I mean you can get a vessel that comes with the captain, a chef, all your food, liquor is included. When you book as well, you would need to go through a charter yacht broker. And we did have one with us on a webinar a couple of months back. I'd be happy to share that link to that recording as well. But if you need assistance in locating a charter yacht broker or want to learn more about how to book these types of vacations, just again, feel free to shoot me a note. I'd be happy to make a connection. Lastly, I want to make sure you have information on becoming a USVI specialist. We do have a specialist program. So I've seen some mentions of FAMs through here in the chat. So if you're interested in being on one of our FAMs, you have to become a specialist first. So definitely take some time to go through it. We have 3 different disciplines: general leisure, romance, and multi-generational. They are easy courses to complete. It's not going to take you hours and hours and hours. So if you're interested in learning more about the USVI and being included on our FAM invite list, make sure you do that. And then for those of you who are booking the USVI, we want to make sure you are aware of our rewards program. It's a really, really great program where you have opportunities to earn points to earn some of these great goodies that you see listed here. We also have some hotel stays that you can qualify for with the Buccaneer. So if you are selling the USVI, make sure you go to usvirewards.com and register those bookings. If you have a booking from the past 2 years, you can register one of your bookings from the past 2 years as well. You'll only get a chance to do one of those bookings, however. So make sure you register the booking with the longest night stay. And then we can make sure we verify that and get you in there so you can start shopping in the USVI gift shop for some USVI goodies. I'm going to leave with you some really good, useful links. If you have any interest in any of our videos that you saw here to push through your social channels, these are the ways you can find us. And then I also included here the link to our specialist course, which is usvirginislandsspecialist.com. You can go through there, take the course, and in no time, you'll be a USVI specialist. So thank you guys so much for your time. I'm going to turn the floor over to Matt now. I'm so glad you didn't disappear, Matt, because I was like, oh no, he's gone, but I still see you. So I'm glad you're back. So I'm going to step back and let you take it from here.
Thank you. Are you going to put on my presentation now?
I can pull it up for you, darling. No
That'd be
problem.
great.
And then you can go from there.
Wonderful. And can everyone see when I change the slides? Is that great?
Yes. We can
All
see.
right, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Just to quickly point out, I see a few in the comments. I am part of the family who owns the Lovango Resort and Beach Club, and I'm the director of operations there. And I'll get into Little Gem Resorts in our company. The Lovango Resort and Beach Club is different than Belongo, which is on St. Thomas, is an all-inclusive. The Lovango Resort and Beach Club, we're on our own private island right off of St. John, and I'm going to go into that a little bit. Lovango, as I said, we're a fourth-generation family business. We're based out of Boston. I work very closely with my parents and my siblings. Our first resort was on Martha's Vineyard called the Winnetou Oceanside Resort, which we built in the late 90s. Our second resort is on Nantucket, which we built in 2012. And we then ventured down to the U.S. Virgin Islands in 2019 to build Lovango. So we love small island communities. That's really what makes us happy and what we know. The U.S. Virgin Islands is very far away from what we've known in New England on the Vineyard in Nantucket. But 3.5, 4 years in, I'm excited to share with you our progress and what we're doing because it's been very exciting. So just quickly, as I said, I wasn't lying. We're a family business. These are my parents here, Mark and Gwen. Lots of family bonding as we work together. And this is not obviously to scale, but this photo on the left here indicates that we do love islands. And we have a resort on the Vineyard in Nantucket. And then Lovango is right in the middle here of St. Thomas and St. John. It is not nearly as large as it's shown there. But again, this is for fun and for guests to see. Lovango is right in the middle of St. Thomas and St. John. It's about a 10 to 12 minute boat ride from St. Thomas and a 5-minute boat ride from Cruz Bay in St. John. One thing that we have felt very strongly about, many private island resorts keep their guests on island. That is the experience, and we really hope to be a part of the communities. Just quickly, I see in the comments here, the Lovango rum to do with us. They're great. It's wonderful, but a totally different operation. We just share the same name. So to clear that up, the Lovango Rum Bar is a restaurant in St. John, which there's been some confusion there, but very separate than the Lovango Resort and Beach Club, which we run. Going back to my previous point and comments, it is very important for us that all our guests have an opportunity to be a part of St. John and St. Thomas, to enjoy the national park, to enjoy the waters. And so we have a ferry, a resort ferry, which runs 16 to 20 times a day between all three islands to get our guests to and from St. John. They don't have to worry about parking and St. Thomas in either island, and we drop them right off in downtown St. John and St. Thomas. So I wanted to start with that because as we talk about being on our own key, our own island, you're still very much so a part of both St. John and St. Thomas. These are our resorts, just from a very high level. The Winnetou, which is on the far right, is right in South Beach in Edgartown. We are very family focused. That's kind of our bread and butter. The Caribbean's a different market. We've really more couples. We're a balance between couples and families in the Caribbean. Martha's Vineyard, we do a lot of weddings and events. We work with travel agents at all three of our resorts and right on the beach. Nantucket, I'm actually at that resort right now. We're in downtown Nantucket. As you can see right beyond our resort there, we're right in the harbor. And then Lovango, we're our own island, and that's what we're going to get into. I just see a couple questions here on the right that I'll answer as we go along. We work very closely with Ellen Hildebrand. We actually do Ellen Hildebrand getaway weekends at a resort in Nantucket. Her latest book, The Hotel Nantucket, she's a famous writer, is about our resort on Nantucket. And we do a lot with her down in the Virgin Islands as well. And then Christina, Bart, your question, the ferry fee is included in the rate. So there's no extra cost to go on our ferry as people come and go from the island for dinner in town or just to take it into St. John and St. Thomas. It's all in the rental rate. This is a little bit about us and who we try to be. As I said, we are a family business. We're not a big company, a big brand like Marriott, and we shine off our guest service. And that's what we try to do. And the way we describe ourselves is personal, playful, and welcoming. Each one of our resorts, Lovango is growing, has about 40 to 55 rooms. So we are not a bed and breakfast. We're sizable, but we're right at the number of keys that we know every single guest's name. And we try to make it very personal, welcoming, and playful with a high level of service. So that's a little bit about us. And each resort is very different and situated to its island, but the guest service, making people feel really special and like family, that's our calling card at Little Gem Resorts. Again, I went into this a little bit. This is, I got to take out that COVID test as we've evolved, but no passport, our own island. We're just a few short minutes from St. Thomas and St. John, and you can see the water around the island is absolutely beautiful and really incredible for snorkeling. We do pay travel agent commission at all three of our properties. This is the map. This is a little bit more to scale than that fun one I showed earlier. But Lovango, it's right in the middle there where you can see the ferry lines go to, really right off of St. John and St. Thomas, right in the middle. I'm going to have to send this video after. This is a PowerPoint that I've uploaded, so I can share with you the video there. I don't think it'll play here, okay, unless you know something differently. But we can share this presentation as well, and I'm sorry for the copy here on the right. But this is a video describing Lovango. It's on our website, and we'll pass this around for everybody as well.
If you send me a link, Matt, I can put it in the follow-up. Thank you. And then
Great.
They can link through it there.
Wonderful. Going back to our guest service, we have our concierge team, our guest service team, our front desk agents that work extremely closely with every single guest to make them feel special. So from a guest service standpoint, we offer a lot and we handhold everybody in their experience. We have a few different types of overnight accommodations, and everybody who enjoys and books one of our rooms, which I'm going to get into, experiences that level of guest service. So our first resort type is called Villa Lovango. This is a typical villa, which has its own pool, 3 different pods, which all have a master bed, and a center great room with a kitchen. It can sleep up to 9 total, 6 adults and 3 children, and it really is quite stunning. So from a very high level, we're 3.5 years into the resort, and each year we incrementally add more hotel rooms. Right now, we have 17 rooms, a mixture of our villas, our glamping tents, and our luxury tree houses. I'll go into all that. I just got, Kay, can you still hear me? I got a comment that my voice froze.
I can hear you.
Okay.
It might be on their end. If anybody else is not seeing Matt, please let us know, and we'll refresh.
So this is our villa type, and as I said, we have 17 rooms now. Each year, we add more and more rooms. We will have 14 villas when we're all said and done. We have 1 right now, and then I'll go into the breakdown of how many more glamping and tree houses we have. That's St. John in the distance in this bottom right photo here. You can see St. John, so you can really see the distance. And as our resort ferry that people could come on and off can go, it's about 5 minutes away. Just so I don't get too backed up, I see some few questions here on the right that I'll answer as I go along. We do pay commission at all 3 properties. Lovango is not all inclusive. So breakfast is included. It's funny, as we create our resorts as a family, one thing that has always bothered us is when you check out and there's a resort fee and there's all these other fees that hit you. So we really try to include everything in our room rate. Lunch and dinner are additional, so it's not all inclusive, but we really don't try to whack everybody with hidden fees and whatnot. So the room rate tends to be all encompassing for our resort amenities. There are some other, things people can buy on site, and breakfast is included, and lunch and dinner is at the guest discretion, whether on site or they take our resort ferry into town. We have about 2 restaurants on island, which I'll get into momentarily. And then we do have a beach club as well. So I'll get into that as well, but you don't have to stay overnight at Lovango to come and experience the restaurant and the beach club. All right. I see on the right here, is Lovango open the week of Thanksgiving? Just from a high level, we close every off season, as I said, to add more rooms and to build. And also we shut for hurricane season. So our resort is open December 18th until July 20th every single year. That's our season. And then we close to continue the resort build out and to close for the hurricane season. So no, we're not open during Thanksgiving. Everything includes housekeeping. The villa does not come with a cook, although we have our restaurant team on site that people can hire. I think it'd be helpful as I go along. I see there's a lot of questions in here, and I don't want to hold up the presentation. But as we go along here, I'll try to answer it as we go. This is our luxury treehouse accommodation. So these are AC'd, and they're quite nice. Those are the views. King bed. We have indoor-outdoor showers, which people have really enjoyed. And this is a new accommodation that is really people have loved. This is year 2 of our luxury tree houses, and they're really quite firm, beautiful structures that people have just really, really enjoyed. So our 3 room types are our luxury villa, as you went into, our luxury tree houses, and then our glamping. As far as our room rates go, our villa, which you saw previously, goes between $2,800 to $3,500 a night. That is different in Christmas week. That's our peak season, as every spikes just for that one 10-day period. But about $2,800 to $3,500 a night for the villa. Our tree houses go between $1,350 to about $2,000 a night. And again, all this is on our website. And then our glamping tents are between $1,000 or so to $2,000 a night, depending on the time of year. So our rates fluctuate with the seasons. So again, our luxury villa, which can sleep up to 9, is about $2,800 to $3,500 a night. Our tree houses are $1,350 to $2,000 a night. And our glamping tents are between $1,000 and $2,000 a night. These are our glamping tents. These are quite nice. I'm biased, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. But these are, very nice king bed, outdoor showered glamping tents. And so I think a lot of people, and even myself, get worried about a canvas wall and roof. And we have really tried to make these, as you can see from the photos, quite high-end and comfortable for all our guests to enjoy. These are some more photos of our accommodations, our tree houses and glamping tents. Actually, all 3 of these are images of the tree houses. We offer a package where guests can rent out 1 tree house and 1 glamping accommodation. So you're not just regulated to 1 tree house or 1 glamping. You can rent them both together. And that has been extremely popular for 2 couples or families to enjoy. So here's some more photos as well. I see a lot of questions coming in, so I'm just going to try to address them all so people aren't going unanswered. We have our own reservations department. So you just call directly and book online, or you can speak to somebody at Little Gem Resorts, which handles all 3. That number's on our website. I chatted about our room rates as well. The resort ferry goes all day. So our first one off the island is around 8 in the morning, and we have specific times for each island to go to, so we have structure. But the last ferry back from St. John is about 10 p.m. So that ferry is going all day to make sure people can go in for lunch, grocery shopping, dinner, or whatnot, so they have access. Just going through here, some more questions. We do offer travel agent rates. We offer 10% the booking for all travel agents at all 3 of our properties. Do I think we will ever expand to include Thanksgiving? Potentially. We're learning a lot. This is a new market for us, as I said, 3.5 years in. The big reason we have such a long off season is because we have a lot to build. And so it's important that every day counts, as I learn about and have learned about building in the Virgin Islands on our own island, off of an island. So once we're all said and done and we're building, we probably will open up a little bit earlier. We have about 42 acres of island hiking trails on the island. So there's a lot of island hiking, and we'll get into some of the resort amenities as well. As far as AC goes, the villa has traditional AC, as do the luxury tree houses. Being our own resort and completely off the grid, we make our own water, power, septic. It is really quite the process that we take in. We're very mindful of our electrical needs and our water needs. All the tents and tree houses have full electricity, full water, but we make it ourselves. So in the glamping tents, we have invested in a system called the Evening Breeze AC system, which just ACs the bed as people sleep. It's a very new system. It's very eco-minded, which we try to be, and it uses a fraction of the electricity of a normal AC unit, which we have in the tree houses and villa. And so the glamping tents are AC'd, but with this system called the Evening Breeze, it just ACs the bed as people sleep, and people have been quite comfortable. Some more photos of the glamping tents and tree houses. As you can see, we have a soaking tub here on the top right, the outside deck, and it's really quite comfortable. And so those are our room types, the villas, the tree houses, and the glamping tents. These are our amenities. We are, you can see, we really try to be personal, the life-size chess set, very fun. We have great amenities with our cabanas by the pool. And the bottom left is our beach club. As you can see, we have a 70-foot infinity pool overlooking the ocean, and the cabanas behind it. One thing that we do not have, we have the beach on the north side of Lovango is absolutely stunning and beautiful. It's called Crescent Beach, and it is really some of the best snorkeling in the Virgin Islands for those who have been down there. It is not a wade in the water white sand beach that we all have come to love and what makes St. John and St. Thomas so special. That's where we have our 70-foot infinity pool, and there is really some of the best snorkeling in the Virgin Islands. And a lot of people swim off both coasts, but it is not a in the water white sand beach. Mother Nature won't allow it. However, on the bottom right here, you see a photo of one of our staff members, Malachi, coming off a boat. And one thing we do have is we have landing crafts, which bring people to Honeymoon Beach, which is on St. John, and our guests go across and we drop the bow of the landing craft and they walk off. A little bit different than storming the beaches of Normandy, but a similar concept. The bow of the landing craft, we bring picnic baskets, we set people up, so everybody has that really cool and wonderful wade in the water white sand beach experience. There's no fee to that program. That's again included as part of our resort. Let's see, anything else here? Breakfast is included, concierge service, access to the beach club. The resort launched to Honeymoon Beach. All this is included in the room rate. Our cuisine. Very important that we have good food, and that's something we've really worked hard to have. We have 2 restaurants on island. We have our fine dining restaurant right on the water that people can enjoy, and really the full a la carte service, which we have. And new this year, we've added a wood-fired pizza oven called the Sand Pit that is more of a casual dining experience. At night, we have fire pits and live music that people can enjoy. It's more relaxed and loungy versus the fine dining, 2 to 3 course experience that I think we all typically experience when we go out to eat. So that's very nice for our resort guests. And then also for anybody who's visiting Lovango, you don't have to sit down and have a 2.5 hour sit down meal. If you want it, it's there. You can come, enjoy live music, relax in the beach club at night or during the day, and have really delicious food. This is some more photos of the level of cuisine that we have. And then on the left here, you can see that's our waterfront fine dining restaurant and some of the food that we have. One thing that's very exciting, this is new this year and it's not actually included. We are putting on a culinary festival the first week of May in Lovango. It's called Taste of Lovango. If you all go to tasteoflovango.com, you can read about it. We're bringing down some celebrity chefs who are going to be down here. We're doing an opening party with Mutiny Island Vodka, and then also doing a dinner with the Friends of the National Park nonprofit. So this is a very exciting culinary festival that people can book their overnight stays for as well. I think we just have a few rooms left as most have been booked up. I'll type the link in here right now. But this is a food festival that we're putting on in the Virgin Islands the first week of May. So it does highlight that we really are culinary focused. And again, the resort ferry can go in and out of St. John, easy to have dinner there. You don't worry about parking. But if you want to stay on island, we really do have quite the culinary experience. This, we'll send it around. You don't set out for awards and what you do, but they're surely nice when you receive them. Our resort on Nantucket was named the #1 resort in the country by TripAdvisor 2 years in a row. We love guest feedback. We love guest reviews. And TripAdvisor acknowledges that guests really feel heard and special. And so that was a great honor that we received at our Nantucket resort. And we really put a lot of care into TripAdvisor and Google reviews and what people say, because your guests really tell you everything. And to get positive reviews, as I was showing to the left here, is everything to us, because one, they took the time, and two, they had a good experience. You're hearing it right from the guests, which is everything to us. So that was a little bit about our reviews. As I said, we have some more room to go as we build out the resort. These are some of our other villas that we plan on building. As I said, we have one now. We're going to have 14 total. This is in addition to the tree houses and the glamping tents, as we have 3 different accommodation types. These villas are in the works right now, but I wanted to show you the renderings of what they'll look like. And that's Lovango. Again, I think it's not properly formatted, as I didn't put into a PDF and this is a PowerPoint, but it'll all be nice and crystallized when we send it to you all, some information as well, and some more photos. Just going through here while I have your captive attention, that was about Lovango, but we do have 2 other resorts on Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. I won't dive into too much. We do work with travel agents there, and we do offer some really nice options for guests who are in our Little Gem Resort family. But just a little bit about us. We love antique fire engines. Again, that personal, playful feel. We do fire truck rides for children around downtown Nantucket. Very fun. Another video. These are our rooms on Nantucket. Again, I won't go too much into depth, but a very similar caliber to what we have in the Virgin Islands. Some more photos. TripAdvisor. That's the hotel on Nantucket. This is our resort in Martha's Vineyard. Unlike Nantucket, we're right in downtown Nantucket. This is right on the beach in Martha's Vineyard, getting into season, which is very exciting. These are some more of our rooms, who we are, family forward, some more reviews and whatnot. We do a lot of events. If you have big groups, we love weddings. We do tons of events. That's our calling card. We love antique buses. They're fun and playful. And we love children. We do s'mores at our 2 New England properties. Yeah. So that's Little Gem Resorts. I really appreciate your time. We are very excited to be part of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Kay and the entire Department of Tourism have been so wonderful. we're a work in progress. We're new. We're 3.5 years in, but so far our overnight guests have really loved the product. And that's
And I was going to
really
say,
helpful.
yeah, everybody that I know that have stayed has had a wonderful experience. So if you guys have not booked Lovango yet, what are you waiting for? Because they're going to have an awesome experience. And I'm working to see how I can get in one of those glamping tents, because I mean, I'm not an outdoors girl, but I think I could find my way to, handle that situation.
It's really interesting you say that, because I would say the right guest for us is somebody who likes an adventure, but also likes to be completely taken care of. And we are a full service. We are going to handhold everybody, make them feel very special. But this is not a cookie cutter room that you're just there to totally veg out. We've had some of those and people have loved it, but you're on a private island. You're in a glamping tent in a tree house. You're very comfortable. You want to wake up in the morning and there's hiking, there's bird noises all around you. It's more of an adventure and it's an experience. But you're very much so pampered and taken care of.
And I think one of the most breathtaking views, or really one of the best days of my life, really, was when I had a group of agents down, and we did a half a day sail from St. John. This is before you even started working on your project,
Right.
and we anchored right there between Lovango and Congo, and oh my goodness gracious, the water was just absolutely stunning. And then to see Congo from Lovango now, standing up in one of the tents in the tree houses, and just look at that channel that flows in between, it's just really stunning. I can't articulate it. You have to actually go and see it and experience it for yourself. And if you send your clients, they're going to fall in love, because it's really quite stunning. It's beautiful.
Well, I appreciate that. I just see a few more questions here. Do we have a hard cut off at 2?
No, we do not. So we usually like to give a little cushion at the end here for some questions. So I have a few. I tried my best to answer as many as I could at the top. Let me do this, because a lot of people have been asking also for my contact information. So I'm going to put that slide back up so you guys can see where you can contact me if you have additional questions. Also, everybody's been asking if you're going to get a copy of this. Yes, you are. I'm going to follow up with you guys with a thank you, and there'll be a link to this session. So you're going to get that. And then if you have some links to any of the videos, Matt, you can send them to me and I can put it in the thank you as well. And then they can have that information as well. So and some of you guys, if I missed your question or your comment, you can always shoot me an email. And some of you guys are really asking more detailed questions that really we probably need to have an offline. But that's my information. I'm going to go through some of these real quick. Jennifer is asking which hotel is best for families and has a great beach. We have tons of those options in the USVI. I think it really depends on the price point. I also like to say, when it comes to families, the ages of the kids as well, because, older teenagers, they're harder to please. But if you have some young kids, we've got a lot of great properties. I think Lovango is a great one. But you also have on St. Thomas Secret Harbor, which is great for families. Ritz-Carlton as well. Belongo Bay is another good one for families. All of these have beaches right there for you. The Buccaneer is another great one. You have 3 beaches at the Buccaneer to choose from. And there are great activities on property that families can do together, dine together, relax together. So those are just a few, Jennifer, that I would suggest. And somebody did give you Secret Harbor as an option. Good, very good. Karen, I will send you the Gallows Point recording, but please send me an email because I'm going to forget. So please send me an email. Yes, you will get a copy of the PowerPoint specialist program. So please make sure you do the specialist program if you want to be on a FAM. I saw a lot of FAM questions come up. So here is the bottom link here, USVirginIslandsSpecialist.com. That's where you're going to want to go to complete the course. I do believe Matt already answered the question about all-inclusive at Lovango. So I think we're good there with understanding that. If you've taken the specialist course in the last 2 years, you don't need to update it. But if you've taken it longer than that, yes, Julianne, go ahead and take it again in order to be a part of the fam, because it is a new program that we have available. Yes, charter yacht bookings do count towards the rewards program, Ms. Dana. So please go ahead. And now let me just say this: charter yacht bookings that originated in St. Thomas and stayed in the USVI. So if I've had a few submit that were really charters into the BVI. I can't do anything with that. But if they stayed in the USVI, originated in the USVI, yes, please register that booking. With the map. Okay, Julianne, you're going to get this presentation so you can have that information there. And Daniel, yes, I do automatically get a list of the people who completed my specialist program. So if you haven't done it, please go ahead. So again, Christopher, if you haven't taken the course in more than 2 years, if you took it more than 2 years ago, you would need to take it again. Great webinar. We will send you all of the information here. We got the links for you, Lawanda. You're going to have all that information. You will have the deck, Taloria, so you'll see everything. Interested in MV as well as a scuba diver. I think Martha's Vineyard is what she's referring to. So I guess you can have an offline with Matt, Robin. Okay, we talked about the Lovango Rum Bar in St. John, so we're good on that. Miss Robin, or maybe Mr. Robin, is asking if you do any scuba diving at the property. Do you guys do any of that there?
So we have preferred partners that we work with, and we've had many guests who have come down who have wanted to scuba dive, and we just connect them with our partners. We make sure whoever we recommend is properly insured and professional, and we have some great partners. So if anybody wants to scuba dive, they want to parasail, we have a list of partners that we can make that happen.
Okay. And Lori, he did answer the question about commissions. So you guys do pay commissions at all of your properties. I'm not sure, I know you talked about dining, but I have a question here about restaurants at the property. I don't know if you got too deep into that.
Yep. So again, breakfast is included. We built a, concierge lobby tent and breakfast area right on the top of the island. So there's quite stunning views as people have breakfast, and that's where our concierges are in the morning to check in as they're eating their, omelet to make sure they're happy and everything's been day planned. So we have breakfast included, and then we have 2 lunch and dinner options, as we talked about, the fine dining and also the more casual wood fire pizza oven, the sand pit.
Miss Lorna is asking about ocean swimming at Lovango.
Yeah, so I talked through this a little bit. The water around Lovango is beautiful, and everybody is provided snorkeling gear and part of their rooms and at the beach club as well. So it is a rocky shoreline. I would love to be able to, Mother Nature has her ways. So we can't make that a wade in the water, white sand beach, but there's beautiful swimming around the island. We have our 70-foot infinity pool, which is quite calm. And then we also have that landing craft honeymoon beach experience that brings people right to the national park beaches, which is that experience that people come to love on St. John.
And by the way, honeymoon is my favorite beach on St. John. So,
yeah,
you have a lot of beach opportunities staying at Lovango. Weddings. Did you talk about weddings at any of the villas at Lovango?
Yeah. So we have a full events team at Little Gem Resorts where we work very closely with elopements, with weddings of all sizes at all 3 resorts. So we can't do a wedding for 500. There are some limitations to being on your own island, but if anybody does events, corporate retreat, handle it all, and we'll customize it to each group and what they're looking for.
And the best way for them to book is direct, or are you with any suppliers?
No, so we do everything ourselves. So we have our internal reservations team. If you go to each individual property, Lovango VI, littlegemresorts.com, the nantuckethotel.com, or the Winnetou.com, there's going to be a reservations number to call, and then a specialist will be on the phone with you, a Little Gem Resort employee. And if you say you're a travel agent, we work with a 10% booking for the entire length of their stay, and we'll make sure that's paid properly with you specifically.
Couple of questions about your dates that you're open. Would you mind putting it in the chat as well? That would probably be good.
So again, our season is December 18th to July 20th. That may change as we go, but right now we're gonna close July 20th this year, reopen December 18th, and then close the following July 20th.
Could you also put your website in the chat as well? And then I don't think I heard you go through this, but some more technical questions about the glamping tents and tree houses. Do we have AC, electricity, working showers, toilets, all that stuff?
Yeah, everything. Any one of our guests who have been to our Nantucket resorts or the Vineyard resorts should feel very comfortable at these accommodations as well. So there is the perception of what a tent is like, but I'm biased, take what I say with a grain of salt. I would lean heavily into the glamorous camping aspect of this. You're still a part of nature. We are trying to be very respectful of the island, the community, and to be sensitive to the island around us. But these are quite nice accommodations.
Okay. So how would an agent go about experiencing Lovango if they're in the USVI for their own vacation and they maybe want to come over for the day? What are the steps they need to take to do that?
Please email me. I get emails from travel agents rather frequently saying they're stopping by for lunch or they're coming to hang out at the beach club and can I get a tour of the accommodations? One happened last week and we were sold out, but one happened this week and we had, one room to show and we did so. So I'll put my email in the chat. You're more than welcome to email me. If you're in the Virgin Islands and you're stopping by Lovango, please let us know and we'll make sure you feel special and are able to see everything that we have to offer.
Okay. Somebody asked about the cost of the tents. Any room for the pricing being adjusted down?
So being our own island, creating all of our own water, power, septic, trash, we try to compost, we try to glass crush. We really try to, we are entirely off the grid. There's a very high cost of doing business on this island. And so we do need to maintain our room rates just financially to work. We have different tiers. Our tree houses, our glamping tents are less expensive than our tree houses, which is less expensive than our villa. One thing we do try to do to make it economical is 3 to 5 people can sleep in our tree houses. So for families, they don't have to rent 2 to 3 rooms. If they feel comfortable sharing, they can do so. Our villa can sleep up to 9 people. We frequently have 3 couples who split the cost of that nightly. We're not the least expensive, but we definitely don't try to take advantage of the consumer. And we try to be very fair in the marketplace to hotels that are similar to us. But we are on our island, and the cost of doing business in the Virgin Islands and on the Lovango is quite high.
Could you go through the process of arrival and departure step by step when they come into St. Thomas?
So when somebody books, they'll either do it online themselves or they'll work with one of our reservation specialists. It always bothers me when I have an issue with an airline and I can't get somebody on the phone for 2 hours, it drives me crazy. And we try really not to do that. If you want to get on the phone with somebody, we may not be able to answer right away, but we'll call you back within the hour or shortly, and we'll let you know we'll do so you're handheld. So that's very important to us from a guest service standpoint. The way you start your trip, even before you booked, it can be personal if you'd like it. And then we have our concierge process who tries to reach out to every guest within 30 days of their booking. If you do get some eager beavers who want to reach out 6 to 7 months in advance, we're happy to speak to you and to work with you and to make sure you feel special as well. But everyone really is touched and communicated with at a minimum 30 days out. Once that's happened, we help arrange all the transportation from the airport to our private resort shuttle, which is in Red Hook, St. Thomas, where we'll align you with one of our ferry times to come over and get settled into Lovango. So again, we make sure to the best of our abilities that everybody completely is handheld and knows what they're doing from the time they book their flights to leaving Lovango.
All right, Melanie, yes, the only certification needed to begin your application for a FAM to be considered would be the specialist course. So definitely make sure you take that course. And I want to say okay, beach party dinner as an excursion from, do you offer the beach party dinner as an excursion from St. John?
Yes, absolutely. So our restaurant and beach club is open to the public for people to enjoy. And we definitely are quality over quantity. It's important to protect the overnight guest experience and have some exclusive amenities just for them. But people can come over for lunch, they can come over for dinner, and they can come over and book a beach club pass to spend the day at Lovango as well. And that includes your ferry rate, a welcome cocktail, towel, a dedicated server, a welcome drink to relax and be pampered.
When it comes to the scuba that we talked about earlier, would the scuba partners pick up the divers on the Lovango private island?
Yep. So any of our guests who work with a boat operator that is part of our preferred partner agreement gets picked up and dropped off right at the Lovango dock.
Another question about commission. Is the agent rate just the published rack rate less 10% commission, or is there a more advantageous rate for travel agents?
It is the rate published.
Okay. And somebody asked, what is Christmas like there?
Anyone that you say, the Virgin Islands is just so beautiful at Christmas time. It is a great place to be. As somebody who lives in Boston, I'm very happy to be in the Virgin Islands come Christmas time. It is busy. That is definitely the busiest week of the year in the Virgin Islands, and Lovango is no different. But it's pretty magical.
Yeah, it is a great time to be in the destination. So I think that is it. If you guys have any more questions, you have both of our contact information. You can always revert back to the invite you got for our contact information. Some of you guys have already been sending me emails. So I'm looking at private questions and answers, chat, emails. So if I didn't get everybody, forgive me. I'm just trying to keep up as much as I can. Matt, you were a great feature with us today. I thank you so much for your time.
Thank everybody for joining. Appreciate it.
And at any time, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to reach out to either one of us and we'd be happy to assist. So thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday and have a great week. Bye-bye.